What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And thank the Lord, thank the Lord the Phillies actually showcased they can win a game in San Francisco, even though the main thing for me, they should have won the series. They realistically should have won the series. They should have won 2 out of 3 in this series against San Francisco. But, even though I'm going to keep pointing that out, they did have a rebound. They did salvage the series, and they proved they can fucking hit for once. How long that's going to last, I have no idea. But I guess a really big positive to take out of this, and I really hope he has figured it out, and this is going to go on a long stretch of greatness for this specific player. Bryce Harper had a fantastic day at the plate. He was awesome. He was MVP level Bryce Harper at the plate today. 4 extra base hits, including a home run. The dude was hitting the ball. He was using the entire field. Mainly, all the extra base hits were the other way, and had 4 extra base hits in this game. It was really fun to watch, and that was probably the first time I've had probably fun watching Bryce Harper for a long, basically I would say the entire year. So that's, it was fun. It was fun watching Bryce Harper. Phillies put up 13 runs in today's game. Kyle Schwarber also has another home run on the board in today's game as well. They're actually hitting with runners in scoring position, and it also does help when, once again, you're getting a fantastic start on the mound from your starting pitcher this time. Jesus Luzardo, he was very good on the mound today. It looked like he was maybe dealing with some trouble early on, kind of similar to what Christopher Sanchez did the other night, but he dominated. He was very good. 7 strong innings of shutout baseball. Very good stuff, and it looked like he tweaked his mechanics once again from the stretch, and maybe that worked to his benefit, and we'll see how that carries over. But 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He threw 78 strikes today. Very good stuff from Luzardo. Very good stuff. Hopefully he can find a way to just build that consistency now for him, because if you get a consistent Jesus Luzardo, it makes your rotation even better. And just in totality from the offense, they went 6 for 17 with runners in scoring position, and realistically, everybody in this lineup except Trey Turner had a hit today. You had 17 hits in total. You scored 13 runs. You scored a boatload of them in the 8th inning, and that led to you salvaging this series. But it really doesn't make up for the horror show that we witnessed last night. And would I consider Monday a horror show? Probably not, but it was still the same bad offensive performance that we've seen, wasting really good starting pitching from Christopher Sanchez. And yeah, realistically, you had a chance to win every game in this series, the past 2 games in this series, and you just did not, especially yesterday when you have a 2-run lead in the 9th inning. Oh my God, I'm still scarred from that, as you can tell from last night's stream during that game. Yeah, I'm still very much scarred from Jordan Romano and that whole situation. I know a lot of people are putting the blame on Rob Thompson for that, but it's just like, look, Rob Thompson does have his flaws. I still believe in the overall landscape of Rob Thompson. He's a good manager, and a lot of people do complain about his bullpen decisions. Yeah, could you have saved Tanner Banks for later on in the game? Yeah, that definitely could be something. Could you have used Jordan Romano earlier in the game instead of him closing out the game? Maybe that was something. Maybe save Matt Strom for the 9th inning or something like that. Why wasn't Orion Kerkering available? They were saying he was sore. That's why he didn't pitch yesterday, and he also obviously got the day off today, so he has 3 days off now going into this weekend series in San Diego. But yeah, but I still feel like the overall build of the bullpen is just so bad that Rob Thompson is walking into a gunfight with a plastic knife. And he really doesn't have many really good options that he can trust. And yeah, maybe most of the time it will come back to bite him in the ass. Realistic, like I said, you only have maybe 1.5 guys that you trust. You trust Ryan Kerkering most of the part, and you maybe trust Matt Strom half the time, and then you don't trust anybody else. So, do I blame him for bringing Jordan Romano back in the 9th inning? Were you really going to use Joe Ross? Because that was the other option, was using Joe Ross to close the game out, and that probably would have ended badly. But yeah. I don't know what they do with the bullpen. Like I keep saying, they're not going to solve every issue at the trade deadline. It's just physically impossible for this team to do that, especially with how it's, Dave Dombrowski's fault that they're in this position. And he should have addressed the bullpen more in the offseason, and he did not. He just didn't. But it's just, you know, is what it is. Is what it is. It's not acceptable, but it is what it is. So, go through the totality of today's game. Like I said, Jesus Luzardo was very good on the mound, and let's go basically to the offense for this team. So, starts in the top of the second inning. Bryson Stott, he reaches in on an infield single. No, actually, Alec Boehm reaches in on an infield single on a throwing error by Matt Chapman, which allows him to go to second base. Then eventually Castellanos flies out, which moves Boehm over to third base. Kepler grounds out, but then JT Realmuto with a 2-out RBI single puts the Phillies up 1-0. Luzardo gets into a little bit of trouble in the bottom of the second inning, but he works out of that. Top third, Phillies go down 1-2-3. Then you go top four. Bryce Harper with the solo shot the other way puts the Phillies up 2-0. Put a good charge into the ball, and it carried just over the wall, so good for Bryce Harper. Top of the fifth inning, Phillies had more chances to score. Stott with a single, Marsh with a single, Turner grounds into a fielder's choice, then he eventually goes to second base, stealing that, but then Kyle Schwarber flies out to end the inning, so no damage there. Then you go top six. Harper, lead off with a double. Crushed it once again into the gap. So then Alec Boehm lines out, which advances, well, actually Harper advanced over to third on a wild pitch. And then during the Nick Castellanos at bat, it was a very long one. He was fouling off a lot of pitches. He worked at the 3-2, and then he managed to poke a single out in the left field, scored Bryce Harper. He made it 3-0. Then he steals second base, and then advances to third on that throw to second base because it hit him in the back and bounced into the outfield. So he managed to get to third base. Kepler, in his at-bat, then hits a sac fly, makes it 4-0 Phillies. And then you go to the top of the eighth where they really just piled on all the runs. Harper once again with a leadoff double. Alec Boehm with an RBI single scores Harper 5-0. Castellanos with a single. Kepler with a single. It loads the bases up. JT Realmuto with an RBI single scores 1 run. It's 6-0. Stott hits a sacrifice fly, which scores a run. It is 7-0. Brandon Marsh didn't work the walk. It was bases loaded once again. Trey Turner rounds into a fielder's choice, which allows a run to score, becomes 8-0. And then Kyle Schwarber hits an opposite field 3-run shot. Gives the Phillies an 11-0 lead, and then they tacked on a couple of more runs in the top of the ninth against the Mike Yastrzemski, the position player on the mound. Marsh with an RBI ground out, Sosa with an RBI ground out. Basically, case in point right there. And you win 13-0. So it was good offensive performance. Definitely needed a game like this, but still it doesn't make up for the rest of the nightmares that this series was. Trey Turner, he was 0 for 5 with an RBI in today's game. Kyle Schwarber 1 for 5 with a 3-run shot. Bryce Harper very good at the plate, 4 for 6 with a home run and an RBI. He scored 3 times as well. Alec Boehm, he went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. Nick Castellanos 2 for 4 with an RBI. Max Kepler 1 for 3 with a sac fly. Rojas came into the game, went 1 for 1. JT Realmuto went 3 for 5 with 2 RBI. Bryson Stott 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. And Brandon Marsh 2 for 4 with an RBI as well. Seth Johnson came into the game after Luzardo, walked 1, struck out 1. Then Joe Ross closed the game out, allowed 1 hit on 16 pitches. But, yeah, just overall, they salvaged the series. And hopefully maybe this game lets them build some confidence offensively. And, they're going from a place that is a house of horrors to them to a stadium in San Diego where they typically do play very well historically. So it's definitely like 2 extreme sides right here. So what is like their overall record? I know like especially like the past so many years they've been so dominant playing in San Diego, like where they have they have they win 3 out of 4. They sweep a 3-game series. They win 2 of 3. They normally have been having a lot of success out there in San Diego and just success over the Padres in general. So we'll see if they just carry that over to success in San Diego, where you are going to have your 3 best pitchers on the mound in this series. You'll have Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler, and Christopher Sanchez on the bump, so you'll have chances to win at least 2 games in this series. So you better win 2 games at least in this series against San Diego, and hopefully your offense does continue to build off some confidence from this. Is it going to be a Phillies offensive just, break out until the All-Star break because they're completely overdue for a stretch like that to where like, oh, see, this is the true Phillies offense. I definitely wouldn't be saying that, you know what I mean? Definitely would not be saying that. So If we're looking at the series in totality against San Diego, Ranger Suarez right now is up against a to-be-determined pitcher for San Diego. Then Zach Wheeler, he's facing Yu Darvish, who had his first start of the season against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He only went 3 2/3 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, so I'm assuming he is on a pitch count limit. So we'll see how much he's going to be stretched out for Saturday's game. And then Christopher Sanchez will be facing Nick Pivetta on Sunday. So we'll see. I wonder who the to-be-determined starter will be. Is it just going to be Matt Waldron again? Because I think that was the same thing from his last start in Philadelphia. He was a to-be-determined pitcher. Then they announced it was going to be Matt Waldron. So we'll see. We'll see. But like I said, it is a good chance for you to win 2 of 3 with 3 of your best pitchers on the mound. Go win 2 of 3, please, at least. At least. Because, my God. Horror show. This series was just a fucking horror show. I got all of my anger out last night. I can't dive into that fucking duel again. It's just... I barely slept after that. It was a hard night. It was a hard, long night of sleep because that was nightmare inducing. I was living a life like a real life nightmare during that entire scenario. My God, my God. So after tonight's game, the Mets and the Orioles game, they got rained out. So I believe it's set tomorrow. They're playing a doubleheader. So with this win, you move to a half game above the Mets for first place in the NL East. And if you're looking at the San Diego Padres, they're 49 42. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They won their last game, and I'm assuming they're playing at some point tonight or something like that. I think, yeah, they're playing the Arizona Diamondbacks once again. How long is this series for them? Is this the final game of their series, or are they like playing? Nope, this is the final game of their series against Arizona. It looks like. Who's on the mound in this series? Dylan Cease against Brandon Pfaadt. So we'll see what the Padres do. They so far have split this series, and it looks like their offense is also slumping for the most part. 3 runs against the Diamondbacks on Monday. Then yesterday they only scored 1 run, but they did win 1-0. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see where everything goes. But yeah. So for the Phillies schedule, this will be the last series coming up before the All-Star break, and we'll see where everything goes. We'll see where everything goes. It's like today was a good game. No doubt, no doubt. It was very good because Jesus Luzardo looked very good on the mound, and it's a very good bounce back start for him. Hopefully he could just build off of that. Like I said, it did look like he changed some of his mechanics once again from the stretch, and he did find more success with that. So we'll just see how that progresses through until his next start in the second half of the season. And he is going to have a nice long break here as well because, basically he's like a week and a half off at this point. So he'll be getting a good amount of time off here. So that's good for him at least. And offensively, we'll just see how they just move on from this because they've been basically so bad of an offense for like the past week and a half at this point with runners in scoring position. Is it just all going to come back at once and they have like 3-4 good games in a row here to close out the first half of the season with scoring offense? Is it just going to be one of those stretches too to go out in the All-Star break on a high note? Maybe. I can't guarantee anything there. I really can't. But it really was nice to see Bryce Harper go off like he did today. That was a really good sign for hopefully some things to come. Hopefully that, he looked very comfortable at the plate. He looked like he was up there with a purpose. The power looked very good. He was driving the ball the other way, which we all know when Bryce Harper finds success, he's using the entire field. So we'll just see where that carries through. Hopefully these last 3 games could be a good thing for Bryce to just go all out here, and maybe he found that confidence and he found that stroke, he found that swing to where he's going to find confidence, he's going to find that power swing, and maybe that just goes through these last 3 games here in San Diego, and then he gets a whole week and a half off with the All-Star break to rest his wrist. So maybe that's what he's viewing it as, to where, okay, I got a whole week and a half off after this, I can go all out in these last 3 games. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's what he's thinking of. I have no idea. But hopefully he does. Hopefully he does, because when Bryce Harper does go off, it kind of has like a butterfly effect on the lineup a little bit. Bryce Harper went off today. Team scored a bunch of runs. So we'll see where it continues. We do have a voicemail here on the Anytime Hotline. And do we have a text message? No, we don't. That's a text message from last night. So we'll get to this call right here from Sean. Then we'll get to some of you guys in the chat right here. Then we'll end it off. Stream last night really tired me out, and I'm still kind of tired. And I also just finished work right before doing this stream. So definitely looking forward to more just chilling the rest of the night. So we'll get to this call from Sean, and then we'll start to wrap it up.
So I guess the Phillies were kind of pissed off today, huh? For all you old school ECW fans, that was the Sandman, Singapore caning Tommy Dreamer, thank you, sir, may I have another style beatdown of the Giants today. It does not make up for the debacles that were the first two games, but hey, at least it proved that this team can win a game in San Francisco, and this team can score more than one run or zero runs. I know I'm shocked as much as the next Philly fan. And Jesus Luzardo, there's no middle ground with this guy. It's either really, really bad or really, really good. Luckily for the Phillies today, it was really, really good. So, nice win today. Again, it does not erase the taste, the stench of the other two games, but you have something to build off of going to San Diego. Maybe their fans will do more That's What's in videos to motivate us, because we usually do have success there, but any kind of success in San Francisco, we'll take it.
That would be very stupid if the fan base down there did another That's What's In thing. Like, I think that, like, San Diego is just, like, their fans have done that multiple times. Like, I think, like, during the COVID playoffs in 2020, when they played the Dodgers in the NLDS, they did something like that, too, and obviously they got spanked. They did that to the Phillies in the NLCS, and obviously the Padres got spanked. So, whenever you do cringy rap videos as sort of like a playoff hype thing, just know it'll be your fault if your team loses, because those are the repercussions of making a very cringy rap video. Jeez, I don't think anything will top the cringe of that one, though. That's What's In, but Jesus Christ. Just don't make cringy raps going into the playoffs. It's just not needed. Not needed at all. Franco, how you doing? They're definitely scoring 2 or 3 runs max on Friday. Yeah, I could believe that. I could believe that. How is Romano still not DFA'd? Because they have no other options for the bullpen. They just don't. That's why. Raymond, how you doing? This team is causing insanity. Oh, yeah. If you saw last night, I was definitely going insane. 100% going insane. Getting at least 2 reliable arms is all I ask for at this point. If they can get that, and you can solve the bullpen, but it still doesn't, like, make up for the lineup, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, also, Max Kepler, he left the game with a bruised right shin. So, we'll see where he is, where that goes. He is going to have a whole week off to rest that, so I wonder if he doesn't get any games in San Diego for that. Ray, the problem with the inconsistency is you really can't set realistic expectations for this. Oh, yeah, 100%. And they have World Series aspirations. But most of us fans that have a brain realize the flaws of this team will hold them back from winning a World Series. Like, don't get me wrong, they are playoff caliber. They are a playoff team. They are a good team. They're a playoff team. They're not World Series caliber. That's the problem. That is the problem. You build yourself up being a World Series caliber type of winning team, yet that's not what the case is. It just isn't. You're not winning a World Series with this roller coaster of a lineup and your terrible bullpen. You can win it with your starting rotation with how elite it is, but that's not going to carry you to winning a World Series. You need at least one of the other 2 things to work with you as well. You need more bats in your lineup. You need more power in your lineup. You need more back-end bullpen pieces. That's just the case. And I just don't see how they can fix all that stuff at the trade deadline. I'll be shocked if they do, but I really don't know how they would fix all that stuff. So, we'll see. We'll see. But appreciate you guys for tuning in today. 100% shorter than last night. Obviously, it was combined with watching the entire game last night. So I don't plan on doing that this weekend for the Padres. I most likely will recap the entire series after. What time is Friday's game? 9:40. SmackDown, that'll be maybe Friday. Maybe Friday. We'll see where things go. We'll see where things go on Friday, but I'm not penciling that in. Most likely the case is we'll just recap it after Sunday's game, and we'll go from there. But I think that'll do it because, oh yeah, there's a lot of wrestling this weekend too, so that would be in the mix as well. So we'll see where everything goes, but yeah, you'll see something pop up in your subscription feed if something does happen. But day off tomorrow, weekend tomorrow's off, bearing any breaking news as well. So we'll see. But appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service. You can also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Also, the people that tuned in last night as well, that tune in whenever to this, appreciate you as well. So I'll see you guys.